It's time to talk about football.
Again. Happy Tuesday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. Of course, coming live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Make sure you join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details. I'm Tony Totri today and joined, as always, by the one, the only Professor Oates. We've got the Daily Man behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. Do us a solid, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. A ton to get into today. Rubus, you teased it. We're talking Big 12 football, shocker, on the PHNX Sun Devils show.
You know what? I think it's funny because you look at some of the love that this team is getting from what we're going to talk about today, and you're like, man, what a night and day difference from last year, and how awesome for these players to get their much-deserved respect. And then there's a couple names that you're like, oh, wait a second. What the hell are we doing here?
Some of it doesn't make any sense. We're going to get into the Phil Steele All Big 12 preseason teams, first team, second team, third team, and fourth team. Also, going to be making our picks and guesses as to maybe which Arizona State Sun Devils will actually make the 2025 preseason All Big 12 football team. And then B's kind of mentioning it in the chat. Ryder Lyons committing to BYU. If you don't know the name, we'll talk about him in the future of the quarterback position in the Big 12. Is it the quarterback conference in the Power 4? We got Sharon in the chat. What's up, Sharon? We got Father Rubus.
Father Rubus telling us that we need to step up the production game.
Well, Father Rubus, just completely insulting my job.
Your ability to do your job.
Shane, it's been 2 days since Kevin Durant got traded.
I believe Mike Budenholzer was still on one of them as well.
Right? Oh, really? Yeah, it's okay. We celebrate Arizona history here.
Much like
we're a history podcast.
How things work in America. I've been pushing this to the higher. Not the higher power, the upper echelon of the company.
You've been talking to God about our intro,
and I'm waiting.
Apparently, he hasn't been responding.
I'm waiting on them, so I'm passing the blame up.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
perfect.
That's fair.
We take no responsibility for Kevin Durant still being in our countdown video. Father,
B's with a super chat to kick off today's show, saying Jake Fett greater than Ryder Lyons. Like I said,
two good names. I'll say two
great names. Two
names.
Quarterback, just great names, all-time names. But let's talk about a quarterback name that is not on Phil Steele's All Big 12 preseason first team, and that is Sam Leavitt. Now, Xavion, Alford, Jordyn, Tyson repping ASU on that first team.
Do we want to talk about the good with that?
We can talk about it.
I feel like we're going to get kind of nasty.
I mean, we can talk about it. In all honesty, man, it was just the transition that popped out of my mouth.
It made sense.
That's all we went with.
It made sense.
Yeah.
And
let's dive into the positive.
I'm sorry for ruining your transition. That made sense. Once again, the stupidest person alive, or the dumbest person alive. Yeah. Is there a difference?
I don't know. That's a pretty stupid question.
Is there a difference between the dumbest and the stupidest? I don't think my dad has heard me say that yet. So that's fun. Okay, Xavion Alford and Jordyn Tyson making first team All Big 12 preseason for Phil Steele, which I hope we meet Phil Steele at Big 12 Media Day.
Sure.
But
is that like a WWE wrestler? Who is this?
Phil Steele is also a good name.
He's an esteemed, just sports writer, pretty much.
He's an esteemed cage match wrestler.
So when I saw it when I saw the Phil Steele thing, and he does stuff like at the end of the year too, I was like, okay, what is this pretty much? Is this just like ASU didn't have enough content to throw up on their social media channels? And you look up Phil Steele Big 12, every single team that got a rep on the Phil Steele team had an entire press release about like
the
amount of players and all that stuff. So he's an esteemed guy. And he's good at what he does, but he's definitely missed the mark on some, but he definitely hit the nail on the head with Alford and Tyson. Tyson, again, one of the best wide receivers in the country, not just the conference. So it's nice to see him get some real recognition.
He is, what is he had the best offseason for any Arizona State player, like PR wise? I mean, 94 and allegedly, reportedly a 94 in college football, 26. He is like kind of being talked about in the same category as two of these, premier blue blood wide receivers in Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams. He's first team all Big 12. Like, the only negative thing I think I've seen about him was the stupid PFF Big 12 wide receiver thing that we did a trending pod on, where he was like the 5th highest wide receiver in the Big 12. But even then, they used his picture for the graphic because they knew
he was the most notable guy.
They knew who he was.
You put Jordyn Tyson's face on it, it's gonna get clicks at this point in college football,
and that's great for this program, and that's great for him. And I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see an opportunity for him and the third team all Big 12 quarterback Sam Leavitt to kind of hit the ground running off the bat. I think they can make a statement. My dad my dad says that was the dumbest, stupidest thing. Thanks, Dad. I'm really excited because I think that if he starts off the season hot, there are going to be some national analysts that go, are we sure that Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams are winning the Blitnikoff this year? If, like, let's just say Jordyn Tyson against NAU and Mississippi State and Texas State, we're talking like 200-yard games, maybe a 300-yard game.
I mean, that's what it would take for him to be in that conversation for the Blitnikoff that early in the season.
Does it not feel like that's possible, though?
I think from a skill perspective, yes. Do I think that Kenny and this offense are going to allow that to happen in those games?
Probably
Absolutely
not.
I don't see them playing that well.
Yeah, him playing that much.
Especially against NAU.
What if it's like, man, he had like 5 catches for 150 yards and then he sat the second half of the game?
Then I could see that certainly happening. Look, we're talking about Jordyn Tyson realistically as the first wide receiver to hear his name called in the 2026 NFL draft. Like, that is realistically where he is at in the discussion, in the discourse of college football wide receivers. He is certainly worthy of being on Phil Steele's All Big 12 first team, and I think he is a surefire lock to be on the 2025 preseason All Big 12 football team. I genuinely feel that way. As much of a lock as Teteroa McMillan was last year for the Arizona Wildcats, I feel just as strongly about Jordyn Tyson this season. And then on the opposite side of the football, you got a guy that I'm glad is finally starting to get a little bit more recognition, and Xavion Alford, hearing his name and seeing his name on the Phil Steele All Big 12 preseason first team. Somebody that, I mean, similar to Tyson, got a lot of love when we're talking about EA Sports College Football 26, right? 91 overall, allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Don't want to get sued.
Yeah. But, I mean, we had him on the show just a couple weeks ago, and it was really, really interesting to see just how level-headed he was with just, less than 2 months, realistically, till the start of camp, and really diving into what's ahead and what's going to be his last season of college football. So he certainly deserves that. And I think in terms of, like, again, the preseason all Big 12 football team, I think Xavion Alford has a real good chance to be on that list as well.
I 100% agree. I think that as far as ceiling for awards on this team, I think there are 3 players that have the highest ceiling. I think Jordyn Tyson and Sam Leavitt, those are going to be those names that people talk about the most.
Quarterback, wide receiver.
Right. Xavion Alford's there. Like, it's not like a separate tier. Like, Xavion Alford is in the same tier, I think, as far as how good he can be and that he is for this team. I think his impact and how good this Sun Devil defense is going to be a storyline for not just the Big 12, but in college football. It's like, man, Arizona State has one of the best defenses in the country, and this is a big reason why. And they're going to point at X first, and deservedly so. He's ready for the moment. He's shown that he's ready for the moment as well, through the way that he had to sit and then the way that he stepped up at the beginning of last season, that he was a leader. And he really is somebody that I think can be like a mainstay face for this program this season. Not just like a good underrated player, but like, man, when you think of Arizona State, you think of those 2 guys that I mentioned before, and then you think of Xavion Alford.
Yeah, and that's something that's tough, right? When we talk about, like, what you immediately think of when it comes to this university, like, I think regardless of the type of season Xavion Alford has, the whatever comes of this year, it's still going to always be, oh, look what Scat did, right,
Sure.
the year prior. And then if ASU has a really good season this year, it's, again, like, it's look what Sam did, look what Tyson did, look what whoever is the lead running back did. It's never going to be, at least in this day and age, I don't think, heavily revolved around the defense. But when it's all said and done, those at ASU, those that go and watch Arizona State at Mountain America Stadium, those that are watching ASU's defense in the final minute of the game and they're looking for somebody to make a play, they're looking at two, right? They're looking at Xavion Alford, and they know that here, which I think is really awesome. But I mean, like I kicked it off saying that, like, from a national perspective, to be able to get this kind of recognition this early on in the season, I think that is super, super awesome. There's a number of guys, on this defense that I think have the ability to be just monsters at the next level. They do need to have big seasons to actually sell that to scouts, to sell that to coaches, to sell that to GMs. But Xavion Alford, to I believe Bees' point in the chat earlier, I could be wrong, but saying that he's going to be a day 2 pick, I could certainly see Xavion Alford be somebody that has success at the next level.
Do you think he'd be a first-round pick?
No. No.
No chance.
I'm not going to say no chance. I think there's certainly a chance, but if the NFL draft were to happen tomorrow, no, I don't see him being a first-round pick, and that's not a knock on him. That's, I mean, look at the conversation that we had just a couple weeks ago when we were, or last week when we were talking about the best players in college football. And I'm totally blanking on the safety. Caleb Downs. And you look at just the safety position in general from college football to the NFL. We brought out the names Derwin James and Kyle Hamilton, all the amazing success that they did, how great of prospects they were coming out of college, and they slipped to the teens. So I think there's a world where Xavion Alford can be a first-round pick, just given the nature of that position. Going from college to the NFL, it feels like it's a position that you would more likely see get taken on round 2, round 3.
What does he need to do with his game to be put in that conversation? Because David in the chat says he doesn't know if X is fast enough, but the same.
I don't think it has anything to do with speed. I think when it's the difference for me between a day 2 pick, specifically a round 2 pick, and a round 1 pick, isn't the oh, he's a little bit quicker, oh, he's a little bit stronger. For me, it's like, do you have an ability to change the game, right? And I think we've seen at times that Xavion Alford has that ability, right? But is it something that shows up in every single game? If he wants to be a first-round pick, that is something that needs to be there every single game. You need to have the measurables, and you need to be considered a game changer. Because we saw just in this past draft, Cam Scatterbo, right? He was a game changer. Every single play, he was a game changer, but he didn't have the measurables. I think Xavion Alford has the measurables, but on a consistent night-in, night-out basis, be that game changer, and certainly you could be a like early round 2, heck, a late round 1 pick. I could see that in his future.
I think he's going to be the type of guy, and I'm not saying he's going to be a first-round pick. Maybe there's the potential there. Being a first-round pick is very, very hard to do.
This is not us taking shots, by the way, at Xavion Alford.
I mean, it's a good goal. It's a good goal, and I think best case scenario, end of the first round, might be on the table. He's going to be somebody that once NFL teams talk to him, and they talk to the coaches around him, and maybe they do a little research and talk to the players that have played with him, they're going to love him.
Yeah.
They are going to fall in love with him. And I think that wherever he is projected, I think he goes higher in the actual draft, because somebody's going to say, you know what? We just want this guy on our team. Like, he is that type of personality.
Yeah.
I love Scat, and like you mentioned, Scat had a game-breaking season. The measurables weren't all the way there. Scat was a great leader. But X is, I feel like, a different type of leader. He didn't play the season before. In game 1, he's still standing up and leading everything, and pregame speeches and huddles and whatever it is. He's going to be like first team all good guy in college football this year, and a hard worker and an elite athlete with what I think production to match a high draft spot. I think somebody reaches for him based off of where he'll be projected in the draft. But that's already like 10 months away.
There were already scouts that were asking why he didn't come out at the end of last season.
Yeah.
Right? Unfinished business this year. You want to accomplish something big. This ain't Mike saying X has Baltimore Raven written all over him. Him
I
and
see that.
Kyle Hamilton would be a nasty safety duo.
The Kyle Hamilton part of it.
I mean,
this same Mike is very confident that he will be a first-round pick. Said 22 to 32. He's
Xavion
calling.
Alford staying here in the Valley next to Budda Baker. Could that be something down the line?
Give me CJ Fight.
He would replace Budda.
Yeah, I guess at that point.
I think you would keep Budda to mentor him for a year or two, and then he would be the successor.
I don't think Budda would like that.
You don't think Budda would like that?
No.
I mean,
how old is Budda now?
He's old.
He's got to be getting up there.
I think he'd be fine with it. I think he'd be fine.
You also don't usually like.
He's only 29.
Is he only 29?
Budda Baker's only 29.
I mean, he's still getting up there at football age.
Yeah, football age, but still, I kind of thought he'd be like 31.
Yeah, same.
Well,
safeties have a pretty short shelf life.
Yeah,
he's different. Not that this is the Budda Baker podcast. He is different.
He's different, but he's not even a top 5 safety of the league anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I could see the Cardinals going for a safety.
The game's also totally different.
Yeah, it is. It is. But like you said, this is not the Budda Baker podcast.
Yes. I'd like to talk about Budda Baker.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Thankfully, we have
the
PHNX
same
Cardinals
Mike,
podcast.
Settle down.
Jeez. Oh, man. Guys, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Let us know what you think of Jordyn, Tyson, and Xavion Alford making that Phil Steele All Big 12
Sorry, but Mike with that comment and then also the profile picture to go along with that comment is just something else.
Yeah, it certainly is. Like, we're going to talk about somebody who is noticeably absent from that Phil Steele All Big 12 preseason first team on the other side of this quick break.
They turned the AC off in our building, and it sucks.
They did.
It sucks, but make sure that you don't get your AC in a bad place, and make sure that APS is helping you out with a smart thermostat. That's right. Did you know that nearly half of your energy costs come from cooling and heating your home, and especially with summer here, it's time for you to get smart about savings. Take it from the dumbest person alive, me. It's easy to be smart when it comes to savings with a smart thermostat that will help you manage your energy bills. They help you work with your APS rate plan to maximize comfort and convenience while minimizing your energy costs. If you're on an APS time of use plan like me, use your smartphone or device to automatically adjust the thermostat to take advantage of lower cost off-peak hours. APS customers also might be eligible to get your smart thermostat for as low as $0 when you enroll in the APS Cool Rewards program. If you're not sure how to install your smart thermostat, don't worry about it. Free install is also available at the APS Marketplace. Find instant rebates, discounts, special offers on smart thermostats, energy efficient appliances, and more at marketplace.aps.com. Must be an APS customer. Pay shipping and taxes. Other restrictions apply. Go to marketplace.aps.com for more information.
Look, I'm not going to dance around it today.
Don't.
Okay, go get your Mountain America Credit Union Rewards credit card. Do it right now.
Now.
Do it literally like right.
Hold up, stop.
Now.
Yeah.
Right now. Get 2 times the points
Double.
on rewards credit card purchases through July 31st. Take advantage through the summer. You guys can use your Mountain America Rewards credit card and watch the points pile up. It's perfect for all of the essentials. Let me know if this is an essential, okay? Gas.
Yes.
Groceries.
Yes.
Home projects.
Yes.
Travel.
Yes.
And all other purchases. All of it right then and there. This promotion is an easy way for you guys to stretch your dollar since you earn twice as many rewards. Now, it is limited time only. Take advantage of it while you can. Details at macu.com/double. Loans on approved credit offer can change or be withdrawn at any time. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
Big Ten Jet says, Rubus, are you going to be on the Sun Show tomorrow? Buddy. Oh, the Sun Show every day.
Buddy, he's going to be on the Sun Show tomorrow, and he's not going to be on this show.
We have an NBA draft show at 5 o'clock. Well, we'll be at 4:45 tomorrow. It's going to be multiple hours long. I need to prep for it. So I'm taking tomorrow off from this show, and then I will be back on Thursday, okay? I just need to be prepared.
What do you think, Deli Man?
I have Southwest Bias at 11 a.m. I am going to be here for the show at 1 p.m. I am going to be doing the draft show at 5 p.m. So I don't want to hear it.
Give it up for the Deli Man.
Oh, okay, mister. I do this, I do that, I do that every day. Have you gone for a run lately? I haven't heard you talk about it yet.
No,
so you must
I've
not
been
be.
really slack. I've been playing a lot of basketball, though. Yeah. If that's okay with you.
No, it is. It's totally fine. I just you haven't talked about it, so I'm just making sure.
Sorry, I like to share my personal life with the people, you know.
Well, I don't like talking to you, so.
See, David says, boo, suck it up. David hasn't commented in 20 minutes, and that comment right then and there got him.
I can count on one hand the amount of ASU shows that I've missed this year.
This year. Yeah, this year. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Me too.
Excited to see
One's
you
not
on
true.
Shane.
I think
Excited
one.
to see you in week 1 post game show.
I think one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think one. That's all.
I said that because it's not true. I can't count
Look,
that on
this
my hand.
this back and forth. It goes 24/7, 365.
Us? No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It does. It
You
does.
go back and forth with him more than I do.
We all go back and forth.
I don't go back and forth with anybody. Off the show, I barely even speak.
That's not true at all. Look, if you guys want to chat about the beef that goes on here at PHNX, or if you want to chat about anything under the sun as it relates to Arizona sports, now is the perfect time to sign up to become a PHNX diehard. Isn't that right, Rubus?
Oh, Nelson Thompson's back to say who cares.
God.
By the way, Nelson Thomas changes their profile picture to Giannis. By the way, had a Hawks profile picture
Future
yesterday.
Atlanta Hawk,
Listen,
by the way. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
$36 intro offer. We just love giving these for free. I don't know where JJ is, but I'm pretty sure Sharon's offer still stands. He never followed up. I did miss you, Nelson Thompson. Join our diehard Discord so you can tell me who cares in our diehard Discord. You also get access to all of the articles, especially the ones that Gerald writes that are locked for diehards only, an ad-free experience on our website, exclusive content on our website as well.
Fran Duffy put out an article too, and you might see Sam Leavitt's name on that.
Yep.
Top 10 college
too low.
quarterbacks.
And we have a whole NBA draft guide for tomorrow
Really?
as well.
That's going to go with the whole NBA
the whole
draft
show.
show.
And the draft guide is already up right now for everybody to dive into. Gerald has an article as well up on the draft. So if you're a college basketball fan, JJ, and you want to know where we think they're going to end up in the NBA, of course, that is there for you. Plus, you get a free hat, a free T-shirt every single year. Discount to all of our events, like Shane's birthday party on the 3rd of July, and so much more.
Are you going, by the way?
No, I am not. I wasn't invited.
Wow.
He told me I didn't run enough.
I invited him.
No.
Yep.
No, he's just saving face on air.
No, I invited everybody, actually. Literally, the invitation extends to the entire world.
Yeah, yeah. He invited
Save-
me. I let
save
him
a few
know, though.
people.
I gave him like a good amount of time notice that I wasn't going to be
Yeah.
present at his birthday party.
I'll let you know like an hour before if I'll be there. or
Well,
not.
I don't know if you're going to be able to get tickets, so.
No, that's right. They're probably almost sold out. But if they're not, you can get it for 20% off over at gophnx.com/join. Plus, what we're talking about here is our Diamondbacks pool party, a.k.a. Shane's birthday party. It's going to be super, super fun.
No, it's the other way around. It's
Yeah,
Shane's birthday party,
also
AKA,
known as the pool party at the Diamondbacks Stadium.
Yeah.
Nelson says, I'm just here to
Ballpark,
troll
not
respectfully.
stadium.
Sorry. I'm just here to troll respectfully. Love you guys, though. It's okay, Nelson. It's okay, Nelson. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button.
I do want to get slightly off the rails just for a second, then we'll get back to Sam Leavitt. Yeah. You said stadium, and I am very big on this. There are football stadiums. There are baseball is ballparks, and basketball is arenas.
I think you can call a baseball field a stadium.
No, you can't.
It's a
I think
ballpark.
It's a ballpark.
It's a ballpark.
I disagree with that.
Why? Why do you disagree? What is
Chat.
there to disagree with?
Get them.
Sick 'em.
Like, what is there? Like?
I think you can call a ballpark a stadium. I absolutely think that most people would do that.
Can you call a basketball arena a ballpark?
No, that's different.
Why? How?
Stadium is more universal.
It's a big
Stadium
park where
is
the
way
balls are
more-
played.
Ballpark is way less universal than stadium.
Stadium doesn't apply to either one of them. Stadium is football.
If you want to see this back and forth all the time,
Sign up now to become a
JJ
PHNX
literally
diehard.
JJ says, I mean, some of the names are literally Yankee Stadium.
That's fine. That is totally fine. It is still a ballpark to me. I don't care what the sponsorship deal is that they have to make that happen. It's a ballpark. If it's baseball, it's an arena. If it's basketball, and it's a stadium.
if it's Phil
football.
Steele, it's an idiot. I'm sorry.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I just wanted to move on. Phil Steele, you're not an
JJ,
idiot.
Sharon is literally begging you to take her offer.
JJV, take my money.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you,
man.
Ben. Ben says I'm correct.
Okay,
Yeah. Go Skis.
Yeah.
as I said,
Yeah.
Phil Steele.
not an
Yeah.
idiot, but did get this wrong.
Yeah, he did get this wrong. Sam Leavitt, not found on the Phil Steele All Big 12 preseason first team. Also not on the second team.
That's where it gets the most egregious.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Okay.
it's already egregious that he's not on the
and,
first
and
team.
I agree with you, right? But if it was like, oh, I'm really high on this specific quarterback, but second team, right? Okay, I don't agree with you. Third team?
Do you know who the two quarterbacks are that are first and second team?
Actually, I didn't.
I didn't put them on there for a specific reason.
All I know is
Avery
that
Johnson.
Which team is he on?
What?
Which team is he?
Avery Johnson probably first team.
I thought you were asking me what team.
No.
I'm like, Kansas
Quick,
State?
what team is Avery Johnson?
I bet he put Avery Johnson first team.
Yeah, Avery Johnson's first
Avery
team.
Johnson
And then
is
Rocco
second
Beck.
team.
Okay, Rocco Beck then first team?
No.
It's not Retzlaff.
No.
Sawyer?
Sawyer Robertson
Jeez.
is on
People
the
love him, man.
first team. First off, don't get me wrong. I love me some Sawyer Robertson at quarterback. He didn't even start the year as the starting quarterback for Baylor. The only reason he played last year is because DeQuan Finn got hurt.
Yeah.
You're telling me that Sam Leavitt, who made the college football playoff, the only Big 12 quarterback to do so, the only Big 12 quarterback to win a conference last year, doesn't deserve to be on the preseason first team? Why? Tell me why. Did he lose his offensive coordinator, Ruby? Did he lose his OC?
Well,
no.
but
Did he lose his head coach,
He lost
Ruby?
his running back,
No.
so that means that he's third team.
Did he lose his number one wide receiver? No. Did he lose his right arm, Phil? No, he didn't. Then explain to me how he's not only on the first team, but he's not on the second team too? Did we watch the same Avery Johnson last year who couldn't even change his own diaper down the stretch? Are we serious? Over Sam Leavitt? It's egregious.
It's stupid.
It's egregious.
I'll be honest with you. Did this guy have like explanations? I just looked at
No,
this.
you have to pay for it.
Yeah,
you have to
it's
pay
a-
for
Pay?
Phil Steele.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's like a college football Bible.
More like Phil stealing my money.
Yeah.
My God, what are we doing here?
I love that comes off the heels of us promoting our subscription.
Ours is fun though. This guy sucks.
Well,
At least we get it right.
Well, you get a magazine for him. You get friendship from us.
Phil Steele.
It's not even
plus.
parasocial.
Get Phil's extended data. I don't want Phil's extended data.
No.
And plus your
Well,
odds.
okay. To be fair, I did do some extensive research on Mr. Steele. His preseason college football Bible is what they call it. Is like pretty
Bible, huh?
well regarded. Like people like buy into it. It doesn't carry weight. So
I click on the $99 and it says, "Oops, this page cannot be found.
that being
Must
said,
be sold out."
and I'm not gonna clown on him because everybody did it like this. He had ASU to finish 15th last year in the Big 12.
Yeah,
so
I didn't.
I mean,
Well,
I
yeah.
click on Phil
What did
Steele's
you have him,
YouTube
10th?
channel.
I think 10 or 11.
I click on Phil Steele's YouTube channel and his banners, Phil Steele's college football 2019 preview.
I mean, yeah.
This guy fascinates me.
What about him
Phil
specifically?
Steele Plus
Philip Steele.
is just Philip Steele's a
that's
way
where the
better name.
Pac-12 is going to be streaming their
Philip
games
Steele
on.
is a guard at Illinois. Wait, what did you say?
The Pac-12 is going to be streaming their games on Phil Steele
Yeah.
Plus soon.
Yeah. I
For
don't know,
correctional
man.
facility orders, click here.
Correctional
There's a
facility
whole
orders?
like
Wow.
I'm
Can we? Okay.
fascinated by
So
this
who
guy.
from ASU made the second team?
fascinated.
No, we're not done with
No,
with
I'm
grilling.
not done with you, Phil.
Keith Abney and CJ Fight made the second team.
Good for them. We'll get to them in a second.
to them in a second.
All right, I'm just going to sit here and not do anything the rest of the show.
I'm adding Phil Steele Plus to the cart. Do I have to pay taxes on
Of
Phil
course
Steele?
you have to pay taxes. It's
It's
definitely
just horrible
you have
podcasting.
$110.
I bet
Horrible.
people are actually
For sure.
very interested in this.
$110 for
No,
sure.
no tax.
No
You
tax,
could, that's a
huh?
steal. $99.
Wow.
No tax for Phil Steele Plus. Season access.
So what do you make of it?
I think
in
it's stu-
reality,
I think
not
it-
of Phil Steele, but of his ranking specifically.
I think putting Sam Leavitt as the third best quarterback in the Big 12 feels like a hipster thing. Like, oh, I don't believe it.
It's like the cool
Like,
thing.
oh
to do.
yeah, like everybody's really high on him, but I'm gonna do this. I might have to get me some Phil Steele Plus to read exactly why he
I
did
will
this.
not.
Because I just I really do wonder what the full arguments are. Like, is it, man, I watched Sam Leavitt's tape and I thought I didn't like what I saw?
No.
What was it that you didn't like?
I feel like it's less of what he doesn't like about Sam and more about what he's enamored with Sawyer and Avery. I feel like that's got to be the explanation.
but
then
then it's like acting like Sam doesn't have like this this raw potential,
I don't
right?
know.
Like,
I have no idea what you could possibly make the argument for that Sawyer and Avery do better than Sam. The only argument I think you could make for Avery is that he is he's a better running quarterback than Sam is. But even then, Sam showed time and again last year that he was certainly capable of using his legs to beat defense.
And I feel like with Avery specifically, the better runner was more, he wasn't as good at everything else, so he had to rely on that more.
And that was just the offensive scheme.
Well, right. And I think with Sam, what he proved in the Peach Bowl is that if he has to, he can. And I mean, he was an absolute weapon on his legs last year. So I don't get that, even from like, sometimes I try to take a step back and look at it from an unbiased perspective, even though I think, we call it like we see it. We weren't sitting here 365 days ago talking about Cam Scadaboo's going to be a top 5 Heisman candidate and Arizona State's going to be in the college football playoffs, right? Like, we're realistic about what this is. And realistically, I'm high on Sawyer Robertson. I'm not as high on
I
Avery
think he's
Johnson.
a top 5 quarterback. I'm not as high on Avery either.
I get why people would be intrigued, but I don't understand why people are just like already handing him. Right? Like, you're top 2.
Kansas State in general, people are high on, man. Like, this is a team that had every opportunity to do it last year, and they didn't. I'm more confused as to why people think that Kansas State is going to be better than they were last year.
I think a lot of it was, one, they underperformed like crazy.
And they lost their best offensive weapon.
Well, yeah, but they did pick up Dylan Edwards, who's really good.
He was on the team last year. He wasn't good enough.
He was there last year?
Yeah, DJ Giddens was the starting guy. Like, I just don't understand why the conversation around Kansas State is that this team is going to magically be better. Like, I understand year-over-year development, but like,
dude, these 2 years have just completely meshed together. Both transfer portals completely merged together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, underperforming. I know they had some injury issues, but yeah, I get you. People, they're the darlings.
For why though?
Because Avery Johnson has so much.
He's got good hair.
Yeah, he's got so much room to grow. Like,
well, yeah, they're in love with the potential, but that's the potential. We're not talking about the Big 12 all potential team.
I feel like, and even if you like Avery Johnson, like Avery Johnson doesn't make my first team, second team, or third team when we're talking quarterback. But if you are going based off potential, then sure, put him third team.
Who would be on your third team?
So Sam's 1 for me. Yep. Second for me is probably Rocco. And third for me is probably Sawyer.
Yeah, I would put Sawyer in the top 3.
Honestly, maybe Hoover.
Hoover's interesting. Hoover, I think at the end of this season might have the most chance to like rise from where people think he could be, and I think he could be a top 2 quarterback in this conference. I think he could end up
2.
I don't know.
You think he could be the second best quarterback?
I don't know if I would say he's going to be, but watching him and seeing, like, I think he's going to be an NFL quarterback. I think Rocco will be an NFL quarterback, but I think that he has a chance to be a top 2 quarterback.
God,
in this
I love
conference.
Rocco Becht. I just love the name.
It's
a great name.
Josh Hoover is an underrated quarterback name. I think that's a good quarterback name.
Yeah, Josh Hoover is a member of Congress name, not necessarily like NFL quarterback. Idaho.
Josh Hoover.
No, he'd be Nevada.
Yeah.
Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
And back to Avery Johnson. I think the big thing is like that whole abdominal injury that he was plagued with last year. Like that really tore his season apart.
Yeah.
And so you're assuming that he's going to be at least some semblance of healthy this year.
Yeah. He
because
needs to be
because at the start of the year remember how we was like, this team is as good as we thought, and then
because they beat the crap out of Arizona when Arizona was ranked.
So did everybody else. Though.
Well, yeah, but no, this is when Arizona was ranked.
Yeah, that was I think it was a Friday game.
That was a weird game.
That was a really weird game to just watch, to analyze all of the things. But Shane, we will get to the second team, the third team, and the fourth team quickly after this break.
If you don't follow us on socials and you don't know that we did a fun little VME competition, but I jumped the gun and read the wrong ad read. So go ahead, Anthony Totri.
It's okay, Rubus. Just rock with it. Just rock with what you got.
All right. Well, I love our friends.
Nope.
It's not that. It's Circle K.
It is Circle K.
We do love our friends over at Circle K.
It's Circle K. Of course, we are here in the Circle K studio, if you couldn't tell by that lovely sign that we have. Also, all of the amazing Circle K snacks that we've got on the cart. Favorite snack, Rubus?
Ooh, I've been really liking the cracked pepper and sea salt
Ooh,
chips.
okay.
Those have been really good.
The kettle cooked hot jalapeno will always have my heart, but Circle K in general will always have my heart, and it's because they help me save money every single day. If you don't believe me, go download the Inner Circle app, sign up, email, phone number, quick and easy, and you're gonna be a member of Inner Circle, and you're gonna get tons of deals and capitalize on all the promotions that they have over at Circle K, whether it be snacks, drinks, or gas. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details.
We love talking to you about saving money.
Yes.
But it's hard to save money. And yeah, we give you lots of options for places that'll give you money back. But at the end of the day, you can get all these perks and these rewards, but if you're not being responsible with your money, if you're not managing your money right, then you're still not going to be able to save your money. That's why Monarch Money is so important and something that's helped me out so much. You can start managing your finances like I did to build the life that you actually want. It makes managing money simple even for busy people, unlike me, who loves to just take time off, right? Monarch Money is a finance tool that people actually love, named Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025, the top recommended personal finance app by users and experts with over 330,000 five-star reviews, on the way to 300,000. Track your spending, savings, investments effortlessly so you can focus on what matters most. PHNX Sun Devils. Oh, wait, sorry. Making your biggest life goals a reality. Get control over your finances with Monarch Money and use code PHNX at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code PHNX.
Do it.
It's hot in here.
Evidently, yeah. You decided to go to the third ad break.
Yeah, I'm all over the place.
You jumped the gun. Oh,
yeah, this shirt is a little too heavy for a day to the AC, for the AC.
You're wearing shorts, man.
Yeah, you're wearing pants, so I guess we just kind of like alternate. But like this shirt's a pretty heavy material. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty heavy. He's not lying on that.
Second team.
Yeah. The Phil Steele All Big 12 preseason second team. Keith Abney and CJ Fight making the list. I think both of those guys certainly deserve some recognition. Love that they're on the second team. I feel like Keith Abney, it's really, really solid that he's starting to get some love. I still think on a national basis, Keith Abney doesn't get a lot of love. I feel like Shane Dieffenbach, the Deli Man, feels that very same way, that there's not a lot of conversation nationally about our guy, Keith Abney. On the third team, you've got obviously Sam Leavitt. You have got Ben Coleman, you have got Keyshawn Elliott, and you have got a new Arizona State wide receiver in Jalen Moss. Which of these guys, Rubus, do you think has the best chance to elevate to that second team or even first team?
It's Sam Leavitt.
Outside of Sam.
Sam Leavitt. I'll go bottom to top. I think Jalen Moss is least likely. I think a lot of the eyes are going to be on Tyson, and I think that room has a couple of other stars that can in the making. I know you really. I like Jalen Moss too, but I don't know if he's going to get the touches to be there. I was really high on Keyshawn Elliott last year, especially going into last season.
Great year.
He had a great year. I think he's an NFL player, but Ben Coleman probably is the most likely, I think, to move up here. You know, I feel like I now have a love-hate relationship with Phil Steele.
Because he put so many guys on this.
And see, that's the thing, right? Like, besides Leavitt, let's break down what he did.
Yeah.
Right? X and Tyson on the first team.
Works.
I don't think a lot of people are putting X on the first team. Right? I think Tyson is clear, unless you're PFF. Right? Second team, Keith Abney and CJ Fight. I think Fight is probably a name that people will look at more there. But like you said, Keith Abney's not getting the love.
No.
Like that. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you, Phil Steele, for finally recognizing
I'm not thanking
this
Phil
guy.
for nothing.
Listen. And then third team. I mean, Keyshawn Elliott, Jalen Moss, Ben Coleman. I mean, those are names that I didn't expect to see.
Maybe
there.
he's just listening to what we say.
But then Sam Leavitt would be team one.
Outside of that, though, he needed to be a little different.
He's got, it's like you're copying homework, which I would have
but
never
you got to
done.
get a couple
I would
answers wrong.
Never copy homework.
That's what it is. He put all the right names, but he definitely got an answer or two wrong on that list.
Yeah.
Like he swapped. I guess he didn't swap anybody. I still think Alford belongs first team. I think Tyson's first team. I think Sam's first team. I love Fight and Abney at second team. Keyshawn and Ben Coleman, I'm fine with at third team.
Do you think Jalen Moss is third team?
I wouldn't put him third team. I'd probably put him fourth team. I think Jalen Moss is going to have a better season than a lot of people think. I think all of the attention is going to be on Jordyn Tyson, which immediately opens an opportunity for Jalen Moss.
This
I think
receiver room, like I think we've talked about it a good amount, but I don't think ASU fans grasp. Look, last year, looking at the receiver room, I think everyone was like, the depth isn't there, but the top end talent's good. This receiver room feels so much better.
It does.
Just because, like, if you look at your top three guys, your top three wide receivers, not pass catchers, your top three guys, and you say, okay, Jordyn Tyson, certified X, does everything. And then you go to Jaron Hamilton, who can, his is the biggest boomer bust. Can be a burner, but we don't know yet. But all signs point to he's going to play a ton. And then you have Jalen Moss, who looks like he's going to be able to do everything in the intermediate. Like this, I mean, that's loads better than last year because you had Jordyn Tyson and you had X, but like you didn't have these guys who would pick apart zones, and you didn't have a guy specifically to be a burner, and like there weren't really layers to the defense or the receiver room. Excuse me.
And when you look at what they used outside of Jordyn Tyson in the past game, like X Guillory didn't really get his burn until the end of the season. Like he had a couple of moments there. I think the Kansas game maybe being the biggest for him, where he started that game off strong. But you don't look at that wide receiver room and go, oh man, they got a bunch. Like I thought Melquan Stovall was going to be a lot more involved.
This wide receiver room is better than either of the first two wide receiver rooms.
And I mean, I like Elijah Badger too, but
I'm not going to even put him in that conversation because he didn't. If him and Tyson would have ever played together, then that would have been far and away the best wide receiver.
Sure, 100%. I
that might have been the best wide receiver duo in ASU history.
Yeah.
Like potential wise, you just don't know because obviously look at Badger's production at Florida, it would have been a lot different.
If they had a better quarterback throwing to them at the time. Like if it was like Sam Leavitt, Elijah Badger, and Jordyn Tyson. I mean,
he was here during the quarterback competition.
I know,
and then left.
Yeah, if he would have stayed.
Yeah, he could have stayed for sure. I really like Jalen Moss, and I think the attention thing is a good point. But I think there's going to be a lot of love shared around as far as like it might be like, okay, this is the Jaron Hamilton game, this is the Jalen Moss game. Right, like Jalen Moss feels like more of a security blanket.
Every game is going to be the Jordyn Tyson game.
Yes, absolutely. I still am a believer in Malik McClain. I want that to be known. I believe in Malik McClain.
It's not that I don't believe in Malik McClain.
I don't think he'll be like a consistent weapon, but I think he's going to maybe have like the highest ratio of really cool highlight plays to catches.
I just think when you traditionally look at an offense, there's usually like a max of 3 consistent weapons. 2 are usually where you draw the line in the passing game. And I feel like it's so clear that Shaman, who's not on any of these 4 teams,
I think that might be the biggest miss here.
Shaman and Tyson are very clearly to me your top 2 weapons, and then after that, then I think you probably look to the backfield. Is it going to be Kanye, who does indeed make the 4th team? Is it going to be Kyson? Is it Raleek? Like I think in terms of pass catching, yes, it's a deeper room. I think this is when I say deeper room and we say deeper room, I don't want it to get confused that you're going to see more production out of this room, because I don't necessarily think that is what you're going to see in 2025. I think what you're going to see is when there were opportunities last year on a 3rd and 8 or a big 2nd and 12, and Sam is looking for a wide receiver, or he's looking for a backup tight end, or he's looking for a running back. Those passes that would have ultimately been dropped, or maybe there was a timing issue or whatever, I think you see those connections be made, right? So I don't think you're going to see like a Jaron Hamilton finish consistently game over game with 3 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown. I don't want to get that confused. I think he's a really talented wide receiver that's got a really high upside. That, yes, there are certainly games where he could have a monster performance. But I think more so it's going to be like, okay, like Jaron Hamilton took the top off. He had 2 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown.
Right.
Like,
or one game he's just eating because they're leaving him open, like 3 catches for 105 yards.
The plays that weren't made by the backups last year, or the guys that weren't Jordyn Tyson or Cam Scatteraboo, I think those plays get made this year. Right.
Sure.
So
I agree.
But that doesn't mean more production overall.
No, and I hear you. And I do think Jordyn Tyson's numbers, and we talked about this, I think Jordyn Tyson's numbers go up, and that accounts for obviously playing more games as well. I think Sam will be better at kind of spreading that love out, especially not just when it's like, oh man, I need somebody, but I think there's going to be more designed plays ran for
other weapons.
For Sam to identify, hey, okay, I look at Shaman, I look at Tyson. Of course, I'm always going to be trying to find them, but I know that Jalen Moss or Jaron Hamilton or Malik McLean or Derek Eusebio are gonna be there for me. So I really
you
like
say that in jest, but
no, I don't. I think
I love Derek Eusebio.
I see that more just because of the depth of the room. I like Derek Eusebio. I just don't know how much actual playing time he'll get.
Totri, how much did you see him running in spring ball?
He was working with the 2s and the 3s. Like kind of going back and forth. It's tough because Jalen Moss is just going to immediately have that slot spot. Yeah, but that's where Eusebio would usually fit.
Yeah, but receivers don't play every snap.
Yeah,
so
100%. And I think what you're going to see more so this year is Marcus moving some of these guys. Like traditionally, like we're not just going to see Jalen Moss in the slot. You're not going to just see like Tyson lined up on the perimeter. I think something that this offense is going to really, really hone in on this year is because so many teams are going to be focused on Jordyn Tyson is let's move him around. Let's put him in the slot. Let's create mismatch. If you want to play man, that's fine. We're going to put him in a position where we feel like we can beat you. If you want to sit in zone, that's totally fine too. We've got other options that we can work with here. And that's without, again, us really even talking about the tight ends that didn't make this list. Tight ends specifically in Shimon, but other tight ends on this team that are going to be a real problem, I think, for Big 12 defenses.
Weapons, and options for maybe the most innovative. There you go. Coaching staff in the country.
Yeah, 100%.
God, get me to the season.
I know.
Speaking of, before we take our final break, did you see all the new gameplay stuff that has come out about EA about the coaches?
Not about the coaches,
So there are 300 different coaches in the game. So that probably means there are certain coordinators in the game.
Yeah, no, ASU has confirmed that Brian Ward and Marcus Arroyo are both in the game as well.
So not only are they physically in the game, but their concepts are in the game.
Ooh, wow.
They added
some swinging game,
an unbelievable amount of plays to the game.
Huge.
It was like 18,000 or something stupid like that. So it did get a little stale last year with some of the play calling. You're going to see a lot of unique stuff, and with this ASU team, it's going to look a lot different than what the game's going to look like, because last year was a lot of, you were in traditional sets, you were in traditional 12 personnels and whatnot. Like this year, we're going to see 13s. We're going to see 23s at one point. I bet it's going to be gross.
That'd be so awesome if ASU rolled out in 23 personnel.
I think they could. I'd be shocked if they didn't.
They've got the personnel to do it. I just don't know if they will. I just don't know.
They're at least going to be in 22 personnel.
They're going to do some gross stuff.
And
you can't tell me that Ralik and Kanye or Ralik and Tyson aren't going to be in packages together.
I think they will. I just don't know how often you're going to see it.
I think it's going to happen. Not crazy often.
In all honesty, I want them to just I want it to be a challenge, and I want them to stay in 22 or 23 personnel against NAU the entire game. The entire game.
We're getting off topic, but I'll make this quick. You know the play creators in the old Madden games where you can make your own plays. I had this play called Scram where it was 32 personnel. With 3 backs, 2 tight ends.
Are we in the ISO? What are we in?
We're in like a pistol. It's kind of like a wishbone.
Okay, we're okay.
And the running backs all go different ways, so it's literally scram. So they'd run into each other. But if the defenders were ever playing man, the linebackers would then collapse, and everybody would just get lost.
Open
and then somebody gets open. It's great.
Amazing.
Scram. I like that.
Absolutely amazing.
You got to bring that to Kenny's attention when he's in office next.
See what he thinks.
Ralik would be so good in scram. He just hide and then.
Kenny, have you ever heard of Scram? Have you ever heard of the play Scram?
23 personnel concept, Kenny, or 33 or whatever.
32.
32. My apologies. Look, we're going to talk about that 4th team and the future of this conference at the quarterback position after our final break.
Hey, if you don't follow us on PHNX Sun Devils, and you missed the fact that we did a free throw competition.
We did.
Of course, sponsored by our friends over at VME. The best part was my good friend Anthony Totri could not duck from our bet when he lost our free throw competition.
It's just ridiculous.
It's
still ridiculous.
The game is the game, and you lost. And that's
I lost. Hand up.
It's the best part about VME and why we're proud to partner with them to launch a brand new way to bet is that you don't have to worry about the Venmo guy or the one who's like, oh, no, I got you. No, don't worry about it. I got you. No,
don't worry, guys. The basketball guy beat the football guy by 1 free throw.
I mean, it was an embarrassing performance for me, but I still won. Bet on anything: sports, video games, fantasy matchups, golf games, poker nights, push-up contests,
snake
drafts. Put money on the line, or you can wager for free as well. You can do one-on-one. You can do group challenges. The best part is there's no more chasing cash. Download the VME app and play today using code, and this is important, PHNX, available on the App Store and Google Play. VME, anyone, anything, Anytime.
Pure edibles.
Yes.
Boom. Signed, sealed, and
Add read
delivered.
over.
If you are somebody that likes the experience of edibles, then we've got the perfect brand for you. Of course, that is Pure. My favorite part about them is I tell you every time that they're not covered in sugar like all of their competitors, but man, they still taste really, really good. Reminiscent of some candy. Look, Pure is a full-fledged candy company offering gummies, kicks, which are their version of Starburst. Who doesn't love Starburst? Chews, soft candies like caramel, and then of course those hard candies as well. Now, Pure lists the effects clearly on each tin so you know exactly what effects you guys can expect. My personal favorite are the sleep support gummies, but I know the uplifting ones are awesome as well. Now, Pure gummies are designed to be ripped or bit in half, making them easily shareable or super easy to dial in your exact dose. Make sure you go find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of the over 130 dispos across Arizona. Last time I'm going to tell you, chat, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and drop a 5-star review.
Or else.
Or else.
Or I'm going to cry.
You're going to cry?
Well, nobody would care about that. Or David's gonna start another scone poll.
Dude, I would.
David says
right
ASU had N'Keal Harry and Ayuk in the same room in 2018. That's the best receiver room at ASU.
This is the best wide receiver room since that.
Well, yeah, but I think he's talking about our previous conversation with Elijah Badger. I think there's a conversation to be had with Badger and Tyson would have surpassed what.
Yeah, I think that's certainly
Harry
up for debate.
Could have done.
Yeah, we'll never know.
We'll never know at this
point. Let's go ahead and get to Phil Boy's fourth team.
Philly
boy, Steel Man. For the fourth team, you've got Kanye Udo, Clayton Smith, and Jesus Gomez. We got an Arizona State special teamer.
Look how far we've come
on the list. Love to see that. I think Clayton Smith could have been higher. I think he could have made a name for him on third team, or a case for him, on the third team. Kanye is an interesting one on the fourth team.
Are you surprised?
I'm not so much surprised that it's an Arizona State running back. I just didn't know which one they were going to go with.
I think Kanye is if you are trying to forecast, and I know we're really high on Kyson Brown, and rightfully so, but Kanye had over 1,000 yards for a good team last year.
Big Kanye Udo fan. Okay.
This is the last thing you hear before Totri disrespects the hell out of you.
No, big Kanye Udo fan. Given what we saw in spring ball, there is not a clear RB1. There just isn't. So, I get you have to make your list, but I think in reality, it's more beneficial to Phil to go put a running back from a team that is going to just be the bell cow. I don't see a bell cow here. Not that I don't think they can do it. Just I don't think that's what this offense is going to look like.
You're
this
more
year.
surprised by the fact that an Arizona State running back made the team, not that this Arizona State running back made the team.
I think you could have made an argument for any of them. For either Kanye, Kyson. I mean, if you really love Raleek, sure, put him on the list. I think they're all really talented running backs. I just don't know yet what the workload in what the share is going to be like on the field in 2025. That's why I don't know, again, how much I love the pick, right? I think Kanye is capable of going for 1,000. I think Kyson's capable of going for 1,000. I think Raleek could do 500 through the air and 500 on the ground. I think that is certainly capable for all of those guys. But will they do it? Again, I don't know until we get to probably week 3 and see what this offense looks like.
I think that if you are going to take an Arizona State running back, I do think that Kanye, as far as preseason expectations go, is probably the safest choice.
Transfer running back at 1,000 yards last year.
And by all means is looking to measure up and have a very successful season here behind what should be a slightly, hopefully improved offensive line. We'll see about how much missing Leaf is going to come into play, but obviously we're big Ben Coleman fans over here, despite what you try to throw in my name.
What I try and throw in your name.
Yeah.
You do it to yourself.
No,
man.
I don't.
You do.
No, I don't.
You do.
No, I don't.
Does he not say that he doesn't believe in Ben Coleman?
That's not what I say at all. No.
He does not say that.
No. All I'm saying is that Leaf was awesome.
Yeah.
And that Ben Coleman is playing a position he's never played before. It is a question mark. It is not one that I'm concerned about.
Okay. Well,
you have to see him play.
Yeah.
That's just the truth.
I think we're talking about the wrong thing here.
What do you want to talk about?
Jesus Gomez.
I mean, that's awesome.
No, seriously.
No, I mean, I think you're actually right. Yeah.
If you look at the stats from last year in the Big 12, ASU was dead last in field goal percentage. They missed 9. 9 field goals were missed. They were almost sub 50%.
There were some field goals that were missed in the biggest moment of the year in that college football playoff game.
ASU had one of the best plus minuses in the Big 12. They beat teams on an average of 10 points, more than 10 points a night. If ASU had just made 5 of those 9 that they missed, which is not something crazy to ask for,
field goals either.
Because the 10th best team, Cincinnati, made 73% of their field goals, were 16 of 22. You're looking at 15 extra points that you're giving an ASU team that didn't even need that.
Right. And some people will argue with the season too, like, oh, ASU won so many close games.
Yeah. but
they would have been bigger margins if their kickers would hit field goals.
The stat that isn't shown anywhere is the times that they could have attempted a field goal and couldn't have.
Yeah.
And now they're going to have that opportunity, which is
look at that Cincinnati game.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, think about
you lost that game because of that.
You literally had your who by all means is a very well-tempered person. Obviously, he'll get emotion.
That was so crazy.
But after it's be like, we're holding kicker uncomfortable. Who does that? You know how bad the situation has to be for you to do that?
It was bad.
It was bad. It was literally to the point where they would line up to kick a field goal, and you and I would look at each other and be like, well, no, that's a miss.
That's it. Yeah,
that's a miss.
We're going the
and
other
this
way.
team got to the college football playoffs and almost beat Texas without a kicker.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now they have somebody who, even if they're not fourth team all Big 12, there's somebody who I am so much more confident in.
We got our very own JG at ASU.
And this is also
Jesus
the person
Gomez.
that helped run Herm Edwards out of town.
Yeah.
So there's
didn't help. He single-handedly.
Yeah, I mean the Eastern Michigan loss.
Herm in a coffin.
Yeah, Jesus Gomez gave us Kenny Dillingham, and now Kenny Dillingham is giving us Jesus Gomez.
Now, are we any worried? Is there any worry that he drew his power from the gray field and brought it here? Okay.
No, because he ended Herm's career here.
I know, but he drew it from the field, and we had to go back to replenish his power. Okay.
Saw him on the field. Dude has got a leg.
Yeah.
My
favorite
one
thing.
Leg.
Oh no.
He's got a leg.
He's got a powerful leg.
Does he just fall every time he kicks?
He just hops around.
I know, but if he kicks, how does he stand back up?
Levitates.
Levitates?
He levitates.
Levitates.
That's Sam's new NIL sponsorship with the potato company.
Oh, I thought it was with Khalil Tate's company.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Did not expect a Khalil Tate mention on today's show. I do love how when.
What about the levitation of a one-legged kicker?
There you go. I do enjoy the prospect of that.
Yeah.
I would definitely want that guy on my team.
Would be cool.
At least just for morale reasons. Like, hey, Jesus, go ahead and levitate. Levitate. I love how when Jesus Gomez was recruited, he literally said that they brought up the Herm Edwards game there. And I was just like, man, that's awesome.
He was one of the dudes. He was one of the fellas that beat ASU.
Did they only score field goals that game?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they only scored field goals. But I think he hit 3 field goals. Yeah. I think 2 of them were 50-yarders, I think. I think that is just...
Michael Crow said enough.
We're bringing in Jesus Gomez. Yeah, it was Jesus Gomez that was the tipping point for Michael Crow. Before we get out of here, obviously some big news this morning just in terms of the future of the Big 12 at the quarterback position. Ryder Lyons, 5-star quarterback, committing to BYU. I believe he's going to be on an LDS mission next year, so I don't think next year is going to be his first year at BYU, but I mean, this is the quarterback conference from now on, right? You obviously got all the guys this year, Rocco Beck, Sawyer Robertson, Sam Leavitt. The list goes on and on, Avery Johnson. But you look to the future, man. You got Ryder Lyons at BYU. You got Jake Fett at ASU. You got Julian Lewis, who say what you want about Colorado. He is a highly rated guy as well at CU. At that point, he'll be going into his second year. You've got Houston, who's got a top 10 quarterback, I believe a top 3 quarterback actually in the class of 2026. He's insane. In Kyson Henderson, I could be pronouncing that wrong. Keyshawn Henderson. And then TCU's got their guy of the future as well in Adam Schobel. This conference is...
And then Connor Wegman.
Is doing... This conference is doing wonders at quarterback for the future, Rubus.
Yeah, I'm excited, but also...
BYU just... I mean, they're just getting all of the money.
All the money.
It's nice to corner a certain market, though, too.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a Mormon football player and you're really good and BYU's a good team, like, you probably want to go to BYU, right?
Well, it's not even football.
Basketball.
No, it's football, basketball, right? And, of course, they get the money there, too.
I don't even think it's so much so as like you got to be Mormon.
No, you don't. I mean, Jake Retzlaff is in quotation marks their quarterback right now.
He's in trouble is what he is.
Yes, he is in trouble. By the way, if you're watching on TV,
that's what you were trying to say.
The party always continues over at GoPHNX.com. It's time for overtime.
overtime.
Do you want me
to get Leah in here?
Yeah, sure, we can. Leah, what do you think about Ryder Lyons in the future?
Well, no, I was talking about Jake Retzlaff.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about
things.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Jewish things.
If BYU is building this place where it's like, hey, we have really good sporting programs, and it's like, if you are Mormon, like, come to the school, and it's not just like, oh, you're coming here because you're Mormon. It's, oh, you're coming here because you're really good at football, and because this is like a place that you want to be, and you're going to be a millionaire.
I wonder if they're going to be able to skirt the rules a little bit with anything
religious.
Yeah. I don't know how.
I'm racking my brain. Like, how could they?
Like, I don't know. I have no idea how. But like, maybe the church is a separate organization. And I don't know.
I mean, we'll have to look into it.
Kalana Sitake on just like recruiting visits, holding out like a little bowl.
It's like reverse though. You take the money from it.
You take the money from it.
There's a stack of hundreds. Kevin Young. Here you go, AJ DeBanza.
That's the way to do it. Any thoughts on anything we talked about today, Mr. Steele?
What?
Not
is he here in the room with
like
us?
Mr. Steele, his lists.
I'm fascinated by Phil Steele Plus.
Just Phil Steele,
like,
his brand.
That's so awesome. Like, imagine, like, hey, subscribe to Anthony Totri Plus.
Yeah, I mean that'd be pretty cool.
That sounds a lot worse.
Anthony Totri Plus.
Yeah.
You know where to find it. Guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of the
Actually, I don't know where to find it.
Sun Devils, use your brain.
I can.
We appreciate everybody hopping in today. If you enjoyed today's content, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow this guy right here. That's Professor Oates.
Zach in the chat.
At Erik Ruby. That is Erik with a K. Follow the man cooking up sandwiches behind the Mac at Shane D.
Just ready to get in a steel cage match with Phil, as always.
Yeah. Guys, we'll see you. Actually, Shane and I will see you tomorrow on Wednesday's show. But in the meantime, go Devils. And peace.
We all silly like the mayor.